Welcome back to part two of the powerful interview with Coach Razmig. Coach Shilpa, what you would like to tell our audience?
Yes, this is a great interview, and that's why we decided to have two parts of Coach Razmik's interview because the engaging conversation, the flow is going to continue, and we didn't want to have you lose out on any special have you lose out on. So far you have listened to what helped Coach Razmik change the track of his life, how he have used the power of leadership and other things he has learned in life. And in this second episode, you are thoroughly going to enjoy the beautiful interaction where Coach Razmik shares his life lessons and his future journey, and a very special gift for all of you to start the year on the best note. So
Absolutely.
Stay tuned and stay till the last minute, because that's when you're going to get the best gift of the year from Lead Talk Podcast.
Oh, thank you, Coach Shilpa. Just dive right in and
yes,
get yourself the best gift as you could for a powerful 2023.
Yes.
So, one of the things we see you talk very clearly is about the leadership failure of your dad, which made him make those quite serious mistakes, and in a way you felt limited you. And so knowing that, so help us understand as the audience how your leadership evolved in this journey of moving where you were to moving to where you are today, where you are changing lives, where you are, so to say, rubbing shoulders with multimillionaires and high impact people.
So my dad's leadership style is, this is where I'm going, follow me. I have it all structured up. This is where you're fitting in. This is how I see you doing things. Just do it. I know if you don't have a better idea, just do what I say. Okay. My approach is lead from behind. It's more a question of, I know what I want to build, but I want you to express your genius, not expertise, your genius. Show me what you're interested in, what you want to do. I'll throw some challenges out. I'll ask for some input from people without any particular guidance, because I want to see what their imagination brings. And I let their imagination, I inspire them by the possibility of what we can create with the vision. But then I let them express what it is. And then based on that, I gravitate and help them make that even more pronounced and more prominent. I remember a conversation I had with you, Shilpa, and that was the first time we spoke, and you were very concerned about your age and making a transition out of professional life to self-employment. Do you remember that conversation?
Absolutely, yes.
And the only thing I did was for some reason, that same day, I had read an article about the two times in life where people become very creative, either at the beginning when they're full of energy, or towards the end of their traditionally professional life when they're full of experience. And I just gave you that article, and that in some ways I think gave you some courage to proceed with your project.
Yes, absolutely, because change of perspective is the greatest thing you can have when you have a conversation. And if that happens, the change of perception can be most powerful. So yes, I'm still grateful for that, what you actually thrown to me as a challenge and as an insight.
So to answer the question, I am a leader from behind, but my master coach Alex likes to say a trim tab. Yes. I'd like to see where it's going and just make a little adjustment that can take the person in a better direction.
Yes, and just talking about trim tabbing, that's many of the excellent leadership experts today actually would like the trim tabbing approach. And I like the fact that you talk about having your team express their genius, because if you're leading from the top, then you rob them of the opportunity of creativity, of ingenuity, of just thinking outside and acting outside the box. So I'd like to thank you for that. And so as you started to get more involved in leadership,
Mhm.
what are some of the challenges that you faced in this journey?
That's an excellent question. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day. Transitioning from a doer, which is what you're placed in from school and in jobs, where you're waiting for an order for people to tell you what to do and then execute,
Mm-hmm.
to a creator where you're thinking ahead of time, activating your imagination of, okay, what do I want to realize tomorrow? And instead of thinking of how can I do it, is who is the best person suited that will activate their zone of genius, help them grow in leadership as well,
Mm-hmm.
and free up my time to become even more creative.
I love that.
That's the biggest difference, and shifting from actually waking up in the morning and having to be busy, to waking up in the morning and thinking, going to bed at night and thinking, how can I do this better? How can I make this project move forward without me being involved? Waking up in the morning and thinking about the thoughts and ideas that came through during my sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how I can help other people get things done and not necessarily me doing.
Oh, beautiful. It's beautiful. So basically what you're saying, and I love this, is instead of keeping your plate full, rather you keep your plate empty and allow the people in your team to do stuff as you watch them so that they can grow in leadership and act. But at the same time, you have an opportunity to guide them. Would that be correct?
Yes. So the best way I can put it was moving from a place of fear and lack
Mm-hmm.
to a place of love and abundance. So
Beautiful.
that was the biggest difficulty in mindset shift that I had to overcome. And
Yeah.
I'm still working on it, by the way.
Yeah. So talk more about what was the fear about? That's an intriguing question.
um, okay, so the fear of not having enough money, the fear of not generating enough activity to generate the money that I needed to live, the fear that if I didn't take action, somebody would take it away from me and I would lose opportunities. So that was me as a victim in the system, trying
Okay.
to play the system. But when I realized that that's not working, I can only put in 12 hours, 15 hours, 18 hours a day maximum in doing what it is that I do. When I shifted to, okay, how can I help my team? How can I learn from, how can I put myself in a situation where I help somebody, and realizing that by helping others, I'm actually helping myself, and coming from a place of love, not a place of need,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, the the current of the money flow shifted. Whereas instead of me trying to pull it to me, money was flowing towards me, which is very interesting, counterintuitive, and we're never taught that in school.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely,
absolutely.
absolutely, and that is very interesting, and that brings me to one of the things that we always like to do on this show, and because today we are on our journey of success, but we have younger audiences, people
Yes,
who are like us 20 years ago, 30 years ago,
yes.
and so in the perspective of leadership, what lesson would you tell your younger self and other younger people listening to this show about how they can become a successful leader like you today?
Uh, to become a successful leader, learn to be a good follower with the intention of becoming a leader, not becoming a follower. So the first challenge I would put to the young people is, instead of thinking of money equals job equals money, think of a job equals a practical education that also pays you money. By doing that, when you stop learning at the particular job, regardless of the money, it's time to plan your shift to the next job.
Beautiful.
And that is the first step in taking leadership, is that you take leadership of your life journey. And the best example I can give you is, that's the way I raise my daughters. And my youngest daughter has been independent since 16 years old. And that's the way I've raised her. She started working at 16, cleaning bathrooms in a movie theater.
Okay.
My thing was, when you stop learning something at your job, it's time to switch.
Yeah.
So she went from job to job until you find what your passion is, what you're passionate about, not what makes you happy, what you're passionate about, so that whether you get paid or not, you enjoy going to the job, and figure out a way to monetize that. Then always approach a job as a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
So this is a young girl. She paid her way through university, no student loans.
Wow.
She went through art school, which is something parents typically
Don't
have children shy away from.
Yeah.
But because she had the right mindset, she was not looking to become an artist. She was looking to express her creativity through art. She then went to cabinet making school. She then learned how to have different skills that stack onto each other. And then she joined a movie industry, and she worked on a couple of movies. Her name is on certain, one recent movie, her name is in the credits as a assistant for props.
Beautiful.
And finally, she got headhunted for her dream job. She didn't even look for it. She now has a contract with Cirque du Soleil and she's working on all their costumes and their props.
Beautiful. Congratulations as a dad, as a proud dad. Yes,
absolutely. Real congratulations.
Thank you. I am proud of her and her achievement. She's and the beauty of that is that instead of resenting me, she's grateful for me as her guide and her dad. So that is my, as far as I'm concerned, my two daughters are my greatest accomplishments.
That's great. That's brilliant.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Amazing.
So that would be the first step. First, learn how to be a good follower with the intention of being a good leader, but then also have a plan on how to become the leader of your own life. When you have that, then you can start thinking of leading other people.
So can you elaborate on that? So how would you advise a younger person listening to us today to be a good leader of self?
Instead of being a victim of somebody else's system, figure out a way to use that system to their growth and advancement. Like I did with my daughter. Take a job not for the money, take a job for the learning experience that pays you instead of you paying for the education. And move through the different jobs as a learning experience. So now you're in charge of your own destiny. You're not stuck there. You're no longer a slave to the job because you're going to lose $1 increase. That's not important.
No, absolutely.
That's beautiful. Okay, that's really beautiful. And thank you for sharing that with us. And another question which comes to my mind is that you have been a huge advocate of mindset shift, but you just didn't stop there. You also excelled your skills, or you mastered new skills and many skills. So can you tell us why you focused on learning these skills and how they have impacted your journey?
Well, I learned early on that I'd like to interact with people. And whenever you're dealing with people, you're influencing. And I'm not satisfied by following somebody else. So in order to lead, I have to be able to influence people, but not take advantage of them, but helping to solve their problem, making their life better, adding value to their life. So
Yes.
I am always looking for better ways of understanding why certain things happen, how things happen, how I can make it better, how I can grow, because I have a bigger vision. My vision is not to become a closer. My vision is not to be a coach. My vision is I am getting paid as a closer to learn how to influence people. I am getting paid to coach people to learn how to unlock and have them shift their perspectives and ascend to another level of performance. And the vision that I have is I want to have a global movement where I help 1 million individuals
Yes.
break free from the imposed limitations. And today it's getting more and more important to be able to do that, because with AI, automation, computerization, low wage markets, and all of those things, jobs are disappearing. So we have to create our own economy.
Exactly.
And that comes from tapping into our zone of genius. So I want to create a movement where people break free of the limitations that all that conditioning, all that education has blinded us to what our real potential is. So that's my mission. I want to, whether they want to become the best surgeon, whether they want to become the best parent, whether they want to become the best entrepreneur, doesn't make a difference. Mindset is all encompassing. Yeah, that's my mission. So my vision is that these are all tools that are helping me make money as I learn how to become a better leader.
Wow. So everything is in congruence and integrated to make somebody's life better than what it is right now by unlocking their own potentials. That's what I understand. You are finally have a mission to do. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay. Great. Fantastic.
Yes.
And can you also tell our audience about you being the wizard of pull cells? What does that mean? And how can you help our audience become that?
Well, wizard is just myself expressing my nature,
Yes.
because it feels like it's magic to people that don't understand how to do it.
Yeah.
Pull sales to me is bringing a person to the point where they say, I want to buy from you. That's what pull sales is.
That's magical words, actually.
That's magical. I've had prospects that I gave my little bit of magic dust to come back after a year I had not spoken to them, tell me, now I am ready to work with you.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm sure people would want to learn from you that more. So we'll be sharing your link, social media link, so they can reach out to you, to the wizard of the pull cells, because that's
I
like a
appreciate
dream
that.
come true.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so that brings me to the next question, Coach Razmig, is that
Mhm.
what are the three things successful closers and coaches do that most of the people, like 97% people, don't do?
Well, let me start with what 97% of the people do.
Okay.
They try to sell their product, their program, their system. The 3% that are highly successful start with the problem that the person that they're talking to has.
Yes.
And they work on how can I help them overcome their problem.
True. Yes.
That's one. The second thing that the 97% do is, if you can't make a decision to buy now, to me, you're not worth my time. The 3% understand that a sale, a close, is a journey of 1,000 steps. The important thing is to start your person you're talking to take a first step, a commitment, no matter how small it is. Them taking action, that starts the momentum. And then allowing them to go as far along as they're willing to go. But this is where the closing part comes, challenging them to take this next step that they're afraid to take, which will basically show that they have given you their trust, that they were willing to take a risk following your guidance. That's the second thing. And the third thing that 97% of the people don't do is ask for the sale. 3% of the 3% of the successful ones very simply ask, okay, now what do you want to do next?
Yeah.
Most people don't.
Wow.
Those are the three.
Fantastic.
That's fantastic. And actually, the third one is very important, though it sounds very simple, but that can be also coming after you follow the real process of closing with it's like an art and a science. And after that, that question comes like a magical question from the hat kind of a thing. Okay, that's wonderful. Over to you, Coach Gerard.
This is very interesting. And one of the things that you talked a little bit about is, I think you mentioned that word twice or three times, about mentorship, indirectly or indirectly. And at this point, I would like you to shed more light on the most influential mentors who have made you who you are today.
Well, the first one is my father.
Mm-hmm.
He showed me a lot of the things. I learned a lot from him by learning what I don't want to do. That doesn't resonate with me. Okay. So that's number one. I love him dearly. I butted heads with him, but him challenging me all the time and me questioning him, his way of doing, I learned tremendously. So the people that do things wrong are also good mentors, as long as you're thinking about it right.
Okay.
The first mentor I found that really resonated with me was Dan Lok. I looked at Bob Proctor, I looked at Tony Robbins, I looked at different ones, but none of them really resonated with me. Dan Lok is the one that I currently follow, and I still have a lot to learn from. And my mission in life is to be mentored directly by him. And every day I'm inching closer to that reality.
Yeah.
I love that.
When it comes, it's going to just be something that's taken for granted, unfortunately. But this is the vision I had 3 years ago. So when it does come, it's just a matter of fact.
It will be actualizing itself, right? Yes, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The third mentor I have, and that's Alex Mendoza. He's the one that brought the coaching program to the HTC community that Dan Lok created. And he, for some reason, when I was ready for it, it just appeared right at the nick of time. I started realizing when I was helping the fellow students, closers that were in the community, I realized that I was coaching them and I was helping them without knowing what I was doing. So when that came up, I just hitched on his tailcoats, and he's my third mentor.
Oh, beautiful. And I like the fact that you beautifully say that you can learn from negative quote unquote mentors and positive or supportive or more helpful mentors. And I like that. That's something intriguing for me. So what are some of the key lessons that you learned from these mentors?
From my father, I already mentioned all of the things that, why is he able to create things, but when he pulls away, they fall apart? Why am I struggling with the way he does business? And what are the things that he does that I have difficulty in doing? So all of these questions really made me question. If I had a guide to show me why those things are important, I would have saved a lot of time, but he wasn't able to explain it to me. But having done that exercise, I can help others save all that time. Dan Lok, he basically showed me that my approach to sales and selling is good, but created a system, a structure. Mine was haphazard, and I didn't really know what I was doing, why I was doing. He gave me the clarity of why these things are important, and he gave me the importance of a community of people. What Alex brought was how to coach people, then the difference between coaching, mentoring, consulting, what to do, what not to do, what to stay away from, how to structure a coaching program that is successful. So that's going to save me a good 10 years because I'm just modeling what he does, and the importance of connecting and having conversations with people. So those are the things I've learned from these mentors and that I'm learning.
Oh, I love that. I love the perspective that really I would like you audience as you listen to this show is the continuity. He's talking about mentors, mentor after mentor, and this is something I would definitely challenge you to emulate. So talk to us about the 3 top books that you recommend for our audience, business owners, and people who would like to become more successful in life.
Yeah, and we also see a lot of books behind you.
Yes. Actually, I have 5. Is that okay?
No problem.
Please.
Welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for somebody that is going from school and thinking of going into the business world as an employee, I would definitely recommend Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
Okay. So there's 4 ways of making money. He explains the 4 ways. Most people think that by going into business for themselves, they become businessmen. That's not the reality. There's a certain thing. So this book is very important for somebody that's just going into and is starting to earn money.
Okay.
Then for somebody that is finding success and then falling back or has doubts about their growth and where they're going, and they're always falling back in their comfort zone. A good example would be New Year's resolutions that never happen, and so I would recommend The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So this is why we sabotage ourselves.
Yes.
For those that have transitioned into a self-employment or have their own business, but find that business they're a slave of their business and they're not in charge of their life. So they're not leading a life of fulfillment, and they're disillusioned and they're burning the candle at both ends and they can't really make ends meet. I would definitely recommend The Vacation Effect by Denise Gosman. She is a serial entrepreneur, has 3 businesses, each one 7 figures. She has a family, and she works 3 days a week.
Wow, fantastic!
So she's found the formula to do that. So for that stage, I would recommend. For somebody that is not really into business books but would like to understand why they're caught in a spell that prevents them to access their zone of genius, I would recommend the book that I just finished reading. It's a romance. It's a novel, but there's a very deep and powerful lesson in there. It's The Return of Merlin by Deepak Chopra.
Okay. Beautiful.
Okay.
And the last 5, the 5th book?
Actually, the 5th book was about leadership, and it's right behind you, Extreme Ownership.
All right.
Right behind you. I see it right there.
Yes.
So for somebody that wants to become a leader, is about taking responsibility for things that you normally point fingers at. That is a big element.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I like that. I'm sure our audience, as you're listening to this, these are golden nuggets. And I'm sure, as we always say, as you listen to this episode, take plenty of notes. Take plenty of digital or manual notes, so you can always go back and refer to these books, these mentors, and all these experiences. And so what are some of the special geniuses you have developed over the years that you would say separates you from the others? Because as we speak now, our audience is going to try and reach out to you and say, okay, I've listened to this gentleman and I think he could help me. So what do you think makes you different, makes you unique?
I come to the table with no expectation other than learning who you are, what you try to achieve, and listening to the words that you use, how you express yourself to unlock what's stopping you. And typically within a half an hour conversation, sometimes within the first 5 minutes, just by the words that you use, I can identify where the blockage is. And I can lay out a path on how you can achieve your objective. And then if you feel that I can help you with that and you need help, I can guide you along that path of growth. It's not going to be easy. It's very simple to identify typically.
Yes.
But that growth is the biggest battle you will ever have to face. It's the most difficult 6 inches you will have to climb in your life.
Yes.
And it's the 6 inches between your ears.
Exactly.
And it's not your fault. It's what everybody else has dumped in as garbage.
Exactly.
We'll just have to clean that out.
Interesting. Very beautiful.
Beautiful. Yes, absolutely. So beautiful. Like I'm just engrossed in the conversation, Coach Razmig, as always. And I want to ask you the next question, because we always define, you always keep going to the next level, right? So starting from struggling to stability to success, and then now testing a new success. So after that is a level of significance. So what are you doing now to get to the next level of success or significance? And what's your definition for the same?
That's a tough one to answer. So what am I doing now? What I'm doing now is I'm going back to the beginning of everything that I've learned from a different perspective, a more expanded experience and vision, and relearning what I've been able to come in contact with in order to extract more out of it so that I can become even more effective in what I am doing.
Wow.
So I'm not learning anything new. I am going back, revisiting what I've learned in the past from a different
but you're a new person, because every time you're a new person, when you're revisiting the old learning, so then again still becomes a new learning for you. So that's amazing. And since you're going through that, what the next level or next success looks like to you, apart from getting directly mentored by the Shifu Danlog? What is your definition for next level?
Next level of success would be for me to attract the next 10 people that feel that being in connection with me can benefit and can help the people around them.
Fantastic.
So that's my next level of success. Having a message, a vibration, an energy so powerful that without me even going out to look for them, those people are attracted to me. And that would be the acme of pull sales.
Yes.
I love it.
And I'm very sure we will hear about that success very soon, and we'll celebrate that here again with another interview. So absolutely. And
I am 20% there already.
Yes, I love that.
I'm so sure. And who knows, by the time we publish this podcast, you would have achieved it as well.
Possibly. Yes.
Possibly.
There's no word impossible, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Absolutely. And Coach Razmig, what is that question we have asked you, which you wish that we should have, but we failed?
Although I knew this was coming, I haven't really thought about it. But the question, I think, would be, why this? Why now?
Mm. Beautiful.
Lovely.
So take us through that.
Why this? Why now?
Well, first of all, the system that was created over with the Industrial Revolution is broken.
Mm.
The education system is bastardized. It has become a self-serving machine and not, it was always a self-serving machine, but that it's lost its purpose.
Mm.
And now there are more and more economically justifiable reasons to bypass human interaction. So the next evolution is for us as humans to find significance,
Mm.
to take leadership of our life, to be able to connect with our inner genius, because we all are gifted with an inner genius. We have just been suppressed on letting it come out. So I think that the next 50 to 100 years are going to be golden years for humanity if we adapt to the new reality. The old reality is done, finished, and dead.
Yeah.
The new reality is where we'll be able to flourish or perish. So that's why now and why this.
Beautiful.
That's magical and that's beautiful, like a wizard again. This answer was super genius. So now, Coach Razmig, you are in for a rapid fire. So these are quick questions with quick answers.
Okay, let me get settled in.
Okay.
All right.
Tighten the seatbelt. Okay. So what's the most embarrassing moment in your life?
The most embarrassing moment in my life when I was part of a meeting and I had to relieve myself and I had forgotten to mute my microphone.
I was part of that meeting.
I remember that too.
Okay. The one thing you love about being financially independent?
The fact that I can tell somebody that tries to buy my time and dictate how I work to go fly a kite.
Okay. What are your top 3 values?
Truth. Truth and honesty. Vulnerability. And love.
Wow. Beautiful. What is that you cannot tolerate at all?
Lies.
Fantastic. What are the top 3 things you will tell the coaches, aspiring coaches?
That I will tell aspiring coaches?
Yes. 3 tips.
Be genuine, listen, and ask questions.
Wow. And one thing you wish you knew at your 20s?
In my 20s is explore as much as you can and make as many mistakes as you can ahead of time.
Beautiful. Wow. I
That's
love
beautiful.
that. I love that. And what is your common leadership style that you love?
Common leadership style. The leadership style I love is creating a vision to work towards, giving a reason why that's important, and then let anyone that is willing to follow that vision lead the charge.
Oh, lovely, lovely. And what do you hate about leading others?
What do I hate about leading?
Others, yes.
Babysitting, motivating, cajoling.
I love that.
I can't abide those things. That style of leadership is not leadership.
I know. So what is your top leadership aspiration as a mentor today?
To be surrounded by people that are more capable than I, so that the only thing I can do is activate my imagination and give them a vision that would help them make best use of their genius.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. And that brings me to the next question. What do you love most about leading others?
What I love most is the sparkle they get in their eye when they realize what's possible.
Wow.
Wow. And what lesson has stuck most with you as you lead people?
The more you serve, the more you earn. Not just in money, in lessons, in values, in friendships, in connections. Earning is not only about money.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
So, Coach Shilpa?
Yes, absolutely. I was just noting down that line. Yes. So, which are the top 3 people you would want us to interview on this podcast for inspiring others in their space?
For his unabashed willingness to follow his intuition, the founder of Virgin, which is Richard Branson.
Richard Branson.
He's right on my vision board. That would be one.
Yes.
The other one, I think, Denise Gosnell, which wrote the book, The Vacation Effect, for anyone that's looking to transition and overcome some of the challenges that they're going through. That could be a good interview for them. Then I would say Logan, which is a welder.
Okay.
But instead of using that skill as an employee, he's converted that into an entrepreneurial situation. So that would serve your community and your clientele well.
Sure.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. With that, we cannot thank you enough, Coach Razmig. We know the passion, we feel it every inch of the way, the passion, the tranquility, the vulnerability, the truthfulness with which you came to this show. I'm sure, audience, as you're listening to this, you've taken plenty of notes. I've taken a lot of notes too, right? And I know I'll listen to this. So my appeal and challenge to you, audience, is listen to this at least twice and take plenty of notes. There are a lot of ideas that are pretty transformational if you think about them. And probably one of the things I want to mention here, Coach Razmig has said, right now at this point in his life, he is going back to where it all began and looking at his life again. And as we begin January 2023, for those of you who have not planned out your year, probably this is a good point for you to look. Just take the example of Coach Razmig. Look back at your life with a new lens, with an expanded dimension, and see, okay, who can help me? How can Coach Razmig, how can Coach Shilpa, maybe Coach Gerard, or any other person out there who has done that, who has been there, how can they make my journey short, right? Because one of the things Coach Razmig mentions pretty painfully is the last 30 years he spent going back and forth. He wished that somebody told him that you didn't have to figure this by yourself. Look for somebody who has been there, who has done that, and who resonates deeply with you. So you take them to the next, they can take you to the next level without you having to climb the hill yourself. Coach Shilpa, what would you like to add?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to really express my gratitude, and I'm really thankful for Coach Razmig being here by mind, body, and spirit, as he is always fully present with you when you spend time with him. And that's why he is also bringing us a special gift. Should we tell our audience, Coach Gerard, what is the special unique gift?
You better tell them.
Okay, so our audience is getting a special opportunity, the Lead Talk audience, to grab a special gift, to book time, 20-minute special moments with Coach Razmig and unlock potential. Unlock your potential session with Coach Razmig as a gift to Lead Talk audience. And we are grateful for him to be open and give us this gift to be offered to our audience as the beginning of the new year, which can set tone for the decades to come. And his booking links will be made available in the episode link below. So that is the big surprise for our audience and biggest opportunity. I think I would be the first one to click on that link as well, because I would never spare any opportunity to have conversation with Coach Razmig.
Same here. We are going to be the first gift takers, right? So this is an incredible gift, Coach Razmig. Somebody like myself and like Coach Shilpa who have had the opportunity to learn alongside you, to interact with you. This is a great opportunity. We know you're extremely busy, and really you offering your time. This is the most prized commodity that somebody can ever loan you and give you, offer you. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I really like to appreciate this. This is an incredible gift. And the other thing you mentioned as one of your leadership lessons is that you learn that the more you give, the more you get. And I'd like to say this again as audience. This is a clear manifestation of what true leadership is. True success is. You don't only succeed by yourself and for yourself, but you succeed by and for others. And by serving others, you actually serve yourself. And so we've had our guest, Coach Razmig, demonstrating what true leadership is, what true success as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as a mentor is. And so would like you to go ahead, do not waste this opportunity. Go ahead and make this booking call. And if you believe you resonate with his energy, and which we know you will, go ahead and arrange and have a meeting with him. And we would also like to invite you, if you're listening, if you're here for the first time, to subscribe to this episode, download it, share it with your family and friends, and be part of this family. And we also invite you to join our private communities, the career transition community that Coach Shilpa is leading, and the leadership transformation community that I'm leading. And follow us on social media so you can learn more of these tips, and also suggest other experts like Coach Razmig and say, hey, I know this person, he or she would be of great benefit to the community. And this is why we invite you to reach to us on social media. And if you also have coaching needs, consulting needs, mentoring needs, or guest speaking needs, go ahead and reach to us. And do not hesitate to send us an email at leadtalkpodcast@gmail.com. And we're here to serve you. Coach Shilpa, I know you have some goodies, maybe some final words before we bring this to a close. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. And today's biggest takeaway is that use your pain to drive through your fog around you, which is created by other people and your own old thinking, and get that real power, because this year cannot be like previous year, and that can only happen by the actions you take today. So as we always say, take best care of yourself. On behalf of Coach Gerald and Coach Razmig, I'm wishing you all a very happy brand new year, and we would be here to serve you at the best of our capabilities. And do take advantage of every beautiful gifts coming in your way, and stop struggling, start winning. And we'll see you soon again in the next such a powerful episode.
Yes, thank you very much. Bye for now. Thank you.